I stay Millie living. I stay living like Millie. I stay Millie living. I stay living like Millie. What? I stay Millie living. I stay Millie.
Good boys, listen to the Hock Pacua podcast.
Welcome back to the Hock Pacua podcast. This is episode 4. Joined here by Kevin Hall, the newest Pistol Pedias League member. Kevin, how are you doing? How's it going?
What's going on? How we doing?
Yeah, it's going well. You're how's being a father? I mean, I feel like we've texted. I feel like we haven't spoken face to face since. So how's that been going?
Daddy life is fun. It's I don't know who's crying more, me or them. So it's going good. So far,
Well,
so good.
they have a lot of uncles in the Pistol Pedias Fantasy Football League. That'll
Uncle
be
Bill.
Uncle Bill. So I'm sporting the Yankee with brim just because of them winning the
Big clinch
clinching
last night.
playoff
Big
berth.
clinch. Got to get
They
that
do.
division though.
They do. So yeah, you're coming off a tough loss to Alex. You know, benching AJ Brown was tough, but definitely not crazy considering his output weeks 1 and 2. And Alex's team popped off. I mean, even if you would have started Brown, it wouldn't have made a difference, I don't think. So, kind of, what are your thoughts now? How are you assessing your team and whatnot?
Yeah, I think the two biggest mistakes. Well, a big mistake on my part was benching AJ Brown, but like you said, I was kind of forced into benching him after two piss poor weeks 1 and 2 starts. And then shout out to Najee Harris for blowing out his Achilles beginning of the game to give a Lion like 20 something odd points. So that kind of screwed me. But I don't know. Looking at my team, I just made a trade. Just picked up QJ, potentially wide receiver 1 for the Chargers. So I'm hoping he could help me out while Mike Evans is down. But it's going to be a tough matchup this week. I got one of the Kickner brothers this week.
It's always a tough one. Now, I mean, like you said, you made a trade with Aiden this week. I made a trade with Aiden this week. I think half of the league made trades with Aiden this week. Uh, you know, Aiden completely switched things up. I mean, his team's now unrecognizable to how it was on Monday, and for good reason. I mean, looking back at his draft, it was pretty rough to see a couple guys underperform, but a lot of guys get hurt, and it's just the opposite of Chris. So, what are your thoughts or comments on not only being a part of the frenzy of trades with Aiden, but also his team and his total acquisitions in general?
Yeah, I mean, the big one was the last one he did with Ann giving up CD Lamb. I think he did I don't know if it's the right thing, but it makes sense getting a plethora of decent wide receivers in McConkey, Sutton, and Smith. And then who knows? Maybe Kamara can get still catch back like he is. But as a Saints fan, I think his days are a little numbered. And in terms of Ant, I think if he could tread water till CD comes back, I think it might be the right move for him.
Yeah, I think a lot of these trades that Aiden made, like none of them are like completely lopsided. I mean,
No, not at
if
all.
you're looking from the outside perspective, like some might be more valuable on one side than the other, but like all these trades benefit both teams. I feel being a part of one. So
No, 100%. He pretty much flipped Quentin Johnston for Hall for me. So
yeah. So is that what he did? Is that something you would have done if you were in his shoes?
yeah, I think I would have. I mean, you got to switch it up, man. I mean, like you said, the first 8 or 9 draft picks have just been abysmal for him. So you gotta keep light on your feet when you're 0-3 and staring down the barrel at Chris for his matchup.
Yeah. Now you said it before. You got a Kinkner brother. I just had to deal with facing a Kinkner brother. You have Nick this week, and his team is pretty hard to assess or kind of know what they're going to do on any certain week. So, how do you feel, I guess, confidence-wise going into this one, and who do you think comes out on top and why?
So between me and Nick, it's going to be tough because so far I'm relying on CMC and Cook to be my my bell cows for this year. They're looking like running backs 1 and 2 in the league. Hopefully AJ Brown doesn't screw me yet again. It sounds like AJ Brown's my Mark Andrews for Will this year. But looking back at the first half he came out with 0 points, and then the second half looked very promising. So if they're gonna want who are they playing? They're playing the Bucks. If they're going to want to beat them. They gotta throw the ball to them. So I'm hoping I got that going for me. Quentin Johnston can step in. But my big problem with this matchup is that I got Jared Goff and Nick's got Amon-Ra. So if my quarterback does well, most likely Amon-Ra's going to drop close to 30 points. So it's not looking good in that department. So I'm hopefully banking on Debo to be the X factor for week 4.
Yeah, I hate when my quarterback has a receiver on the other team. That's so annoying. But one thing that I also want to bring up when we discuss Ant and his matchup is they're playing Cleveland, and like Cleveland's defense just shut down Green Bay, who's like they've been really good this year. Green Bay, like their offense has been clicking, but I mean, like I know we're gonna talk about it later, but like Ant is starting both Gibbs and Montgomery this week. That would have worked last week, but like there's no way I'm starting both of them against Cleveland's defense. But I mean that's the only thing there. And I mean, if I have to pick someone to win this one, I don't hate you here. I mean, I know you're on the podcast and could be biased, but I mean, CMC has just been surprising everybody. I mean, a first overall pick last year, huge disappointment. First round pick this year, and he's been running back too. So if him and Cook can keep it going, and then like you said, your receivers kind of keep you afloat there. If AJ Brown repeats or does similarly to how he did last week, and if Jaden Daniels is back with Debo, I mean, I think you have a good shot this week.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a legendary game for Cook going against the Saints. I mean, their defense is just shot. And CMC, I mean, I took a shot at him. It's still early, but so far, knock on wood, he's still healthy. Hopefully, he stays that way. But if he goes down, then it's mail ball for me, man. It's definitely gonna be me in the mail ball. And then going looking at Nick's team, I mean, his running backs got good matchup. You got K9 going against Arizona Thursday night. You got J.K. Dobbins going against a terrible Cincy defense, and then Achane, who's been a great catchback going against the Jets. So it's going to be a tough one to squeak out a win for me.
Yeah, Achane is he's like the new Kamara, I feel like, in fantasy, where
100%.
Kamara was always that guy who's like, even if he doesn't rush for enough yards or get a touchdown, he always had that base of like 6+ reception points with yardage, And that's what Achane is, I feel.
100%.
Yeah, but yeah, we also have a pretty interesting matchup between 3-0 Chris Amendolara and the 0-3 Aiden Linehan. So, and he has a completely new roster, as we said. So, how do you predict this one goes? Who do you got here in the number one overall team and the team that's currently in last?
So right now ESPN's got Chris at a 61% chance of winning. So not a good start before anyone even touches grass. The only thing I can say for Aiden's sake is that I mean there's really not much to pick off here. I'm not crazy about DeAndre Swift, but he's been consistent. Like I'm looking at his points, he's been averaging like low to mid teens every week, so you can't really ask for much more. You got the 1-2 punch in Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. They're going against a pretty decent KC defense, so maybe they can stop them or slow them down. But other than that, man, I don't see Aiden pulling a win out of this one. I mean, you would need Bo Nix to go off, which the way this is going, he looks like he's having a sophomore slump. Hence why I kind of got rid of him earlier. You got Genty, who knows when he's gonna break out. Genty's gonna break out. It's just a matter of when. But I don't. He's if for Aiden's sake, hopefully it's this week. I mean, I do like the Chuba Hubbard acquisition. I was trying to actually get him myself, so I think he's gonna be solid. Lab McConkey's got to figure it out too, though. I don't know what's going on with him. He's going through some shit now too. So I don't know. It's gonna be a tough one to pull a win out of his ass.
Well, yeah, you have wide receiver 1, Quentin Johnston now. Lad is wide receiver 3.
Seems like he's wide receiver 1.
What?
I don't know. It seems like he's wide receiver one now. I've had him
Yeah,
2 years in a dynasty league, and he couldn't catch the fucking ball, and now he figured it out.
I know he was on the Kadarius Toney um, legacy run, and then he became the man this year. I don't think anyone expected it. I don't know, but but I totally agree. I echo what you say here. I mean, it seems like a miracle would have to happen for Aiden to get his first win. It's just an unfortunate thing that after he wants to see his brand new team, he plays Chris, whose lineup is just absolutely loaded. Lamar, Derrick Henry, Swift, and then like neighbors Garrett Wilson. Like, I mean, both teams are terrible, the Giants and the Jets, but those guys are the offense. So, I mean, Chris is just a team to be.
I mean, who knows? I mean, now that we got now we got Dart starting, who knows? Maybe neighbors could go absolutely bonkers this week.
Yeah, there's a chance here, but yeah, I think so. Yeah, both of us go Chris here. I doubt many people would expect Aiden to pull out his first win, but hopefully he does with Chris leading the pack of teams.
Yeah, I think the sports books probably got him at like a plus 900 money line.
Yeah.
Not looking good.
Yeah. If you're betting on Pistol Pedias matchups on FanDuel, use code GrummelSwag. You heard it here first. So so yeah, another interesting matchup we have is Alex and Robbie. I mean, the loser of this one sits at the bottom of their division. So, who do you have in this one? You know?
All right, well, let's see. I think Josh Allen for Robbie's gonna have. I like Robbie. I'm just gonna start out straight right away. I like Robbie in this one because fuck Alex's team. Still salty about last week. Josh Allen, I think he's gonna have a legacy game against the Saints. He's got Jonathan Taylor, who's looking like he's up there with the best running back. Abuka's a dog. He now that what's his name, Mike Evans is down, he's gonna get a lot of touches. Bills defense might drop 30. Who knows? Who else does he have here? I'm not loving the Trayvon Henderson, but who knows? After two fumbles from Ramondre, he might be RB1.
That's a good
Who else
point.
is he at? He's got JJ. Overall, I'm not crazy about JJ just because number one, he's got Carson Wentz throwing him the ball, and number two, it's an overseas game. And typically, fantasy players overall don't do well overseas. I mean, I think last week Alex dropping 142 was an anomaly. I don't think that's happened again the rest of the season.
Interesting. Yeah, I like that point of maybe Trevion Henderson takes over, takes over in New England. I mean, last year Ramondre had a fumble problem when I had him, and then Antonio Gibson of all people ended up um, getting more of a role last year, and it kind of like ended Ramondre's fantasy relevance last year. But I mean, Trevion Henderson is just one of those guys like Omar in Hampton on Alex's team.
Fuck him.
What are you in? You in Gaza right now?
Salty. Fuck him, Ryan Hampton. I'm sick of him. Of course, he had a breakout week last week. Like I thought his breakout week would be coming around like week 8 or 9, but Najee Harris just had to go down.
Yeah, yeah.
Not happy about that.
But yeah, I mean, you got Robbie this week. You said you might be a little salty about last week, and I might be a little salty that Robbie beat me last week because of a Jonathan Taylor garbage time touchdown. But I mean, I got Alex here, so just to say a little bit about Alex's team. Big O, Omari and Hampton, his breakout may have just happened last week. I mean, we all saw Najee Harris go down, like you said, and that clears the path for him for RB1 fantasy relevance. Javonte Williams, he's been a dog for him. Nico Collins is great. He plays Tennessee, which is a good matchup. JSN ended up being a really good pick in the beginning of the fourth round, I believe, which is nuts. And then the only thing is, Jake Ferguson will probably continue with CeeDee Lamb out to be a really good tight end. And then his only thing is BTJ still in his lineup. I mean, you took A.J. Brown out of your lineup and ended up biting you, but, I mean, A.J. Brown had like 10 points combined in the first 2 weeks. So that's not something to, be too down about. And it didn't affect that final score really. I think you still would have lost. But here, I mean, if you're Alex, do you do what you did with AJ Brown and bench him, or do you still start BTJ with like looking at his bench, which isn't like the deepest on the surface
I
level?
mean, I don't really see a better option for him. I mean, is Xavier Worthy really that healthy to be back like he was projected to be? I don't know. He is playing a crappy Baltimore defense, so maybe. But at this point, he's just got to catch the damn rock. That's all it is. It's like the Jaguars overall have too many drops. I mean, BTJ's drop same boat as all the other ones. He's gonna figure it out. Just when out there, I don't know. Then after that, he's got KC, Seattle, and the Rams, and then a bye weeks. I think it's going to be tough for BTJ, but maybe in the back half of the season, to making a push, he might be able to catch the damn rock. Duly noted that the loser of this game is going to be 1-3, so it's going to be interesting to see who comes out of this one.
Yeah, that's a big factor here. And, I pick Alex, but I'm not totally out on Robbie here. I mean, he's got Bills defense and Bills kicker and Matt Prater against your New Orleans Saints, who have been abysmal. And he's got Ibuka, who's now arguably wide receiver 1 in Tampa Bay with Mike Evans going down. And then if Jonathan Taylor keeps it up and Josh Allen has a big game, I mean that's enough alone for Robbie to come away with this one. And not to mention George Pickens too, wide receiver 1 now for Dallas for a few weeks. So I'm gonna stick with my pick with Alex, but I'd be scared of Robbie's team if I was Alex.
Yeah, his lineup's got some good matchups this week for sure.
Yeah, and then like you said with Travion Henderson, if he comes out and he's now the bell cow or at least just the lead back, that could be enough to put him over the edge too. Yeah. So the other Kevin Judge plays Ant. And now Ant had arguably the biggest deal with Aiden, like you said, sending away Alvin Kamara, Lad McConkey, Cortland Sutton, Devonta Smith in exchange for CeeDee Lamb, which is a really good guy to have in a few weeks when he comes back. Breece Hall, Ricky Pearsall, and Kyler Murray. So how do you think this one goes between Kevin and Ant, two guys that like to chirp each other a lot?
Yeah, I don't. Like I said earlier, that CeeDee Lamb trade, it's definitely going to help him down the stretch. He's just got to stay afloat, but it's like in dodgeball, bold strategy, Cotton. See if it pays off for him. Going back to the running backs, I mean, it was tough loss not starting Montgomery, and I think doing it this week, I think he'll get the same, maybe not the same results, but similar results. Because Cleveland's defense is weird, man. Like if you play Cleveland at home, they're gonna lock you down, as we saw against the Packers. But on the road in the lines, then I think he'll get a similar outcome with Sonic and Knuckles. And then who else is he at? Oh, one note I do want to make about against little tip for Tad. I wouldn't recommend starting T.J. Hawkinson over Dallas Goedert, simply because, like I said before, Vikings are playing Pittsburgh and Dublin. Don't love the overseas, and he's got Dallas Goedert sitting there while Kevin Judge has Jalen Hurts as his quarterback. If Jalen Hurts repeats it and doesn't throw AJ Brown the ball again, like the selfish piece of shit he is, then Dallas Goedert could be getting some touches that way. It could help him out.
That's a good point. I didn't even see. Yeah, I didn't realize that. I mean, I think Hock had a good week with Carson Wentz, but Minnesota put up like 1 million points. So I don't think Minnesota could put up 1 million points with Carson Wentz against Pittsburgh overseas, like you said. But only time will tell with that one. But I mean, like I mentioned before, like you just said, Gibbs and Montgomery, I don't think them playing Cleveland is like the week that you start both of them. That's a little crazy to me. I know they combined for like 30, 40 points, probably even more, like 40 or 50 this week. But that was against a bad Baltimore defense. So I agree there. I don't think I don't think that's the play, Ant. I mean, looking at your bench though, I don't know who else you put in your flex. I mean, he had options before his trade. If he would could have had like Devonta Smith or Cortland Sutton, having them this week. Devonta Smith is another factor where, you know, Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith, if he connects there and gets those points. But I think the trade he made with Aiden will benefit him in the long run. This week, though, I have Kevin, even with um, even with like losing Chase Brown's fantasy relevance. Kevin having Bucky Irving and Jalen Warren, I think, is just fine. Because Hurts is just so annoying with the tush pushes to play against. Jamar
This
Chase.
push is just so gay, man. It's so gay.
Jamar Chase will be fine. I mean, he won't be Jamar Chase with like number one pick Jamar Chase, but he'll be okay. Romo Dunze's been good. Kraft's been good. I think Kevin wins this one by the skin of his teeth. So yeah.
Yeah, I got Kevin winning this too. I mean, his running backs have been solid. You know, I'm not the biggest Jalen Warren fan, but I looked at his numbers and he's been putting up consistent numbers. Like I said, he's got the overseas game, but he's been consistently putting up low to high teens. So you can't ask for a consistent back in fantasy. That's all you really got to ask for. Bucky Irving's a stud. Jamar Chase, I think he'll be fine. It would help if they trade for a quarterback, but I think whoever's throwing him the rock is still going to throw him the rock 10 to 15 times a game. I think Tucker Kraft's going to have a huge game too against Dallas's shite defense. And who else does he have here? He's got Roma Dunze. I'm not a fan of either, but looking at his numbers, he's a solid wide receiver, so he should be giving him at least 15 points this week. And then he's got Jacoby Myers in his flex, another guy who I'm not really high on, but again, looking at his numbers, he had a down week last week, but he should be good for double digits. So I'm probably taking Kevin in this one too.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, moving on, we got your brother-in-law. We got Uncle Bill. Will Lentini's playing me this week. Don't hold back. Be totally honest. Who do you have in this one?
So let's take a look here. So you got Jaden Daniels starting, which I don't know how you feel about him. Let's see how that knee holds up, if he's going to go through a sophomore slump or a lingering knee injury himself. But other than that, I'm not really too worried about your team. I mean, you got Bijan Robinson. He's going to get a million touches. You got Josh Jacobs. He's a guaranteed back in this league. Tyreek Hill, I mean, he's been quiet this year, but still has produced. Let me take a look. Yeah, he's been double-digit points in the last 2 weeks, so he's going to produce. Devontae Adams, I thought, I think I might have had a chance to get Devontae Adams, but I was a little nervous about him, and he's still got some juice left in the tank. So, and he's got who do they have? They have Indianapolis, so it's not the greatest matchup. But Jawan Johnson has been a surprise tight end this year. I mean, even playing bad teams, like he's still putting up at least 15 points a week. So that's probably the only bright side to the New Orleans offense. Jordan Mason's solid, and Lions defense could do a number on it. So, and you have one of the best kickers in the league, so it's going to be a tough matchup for Will. But looking over at his team, I mean, he's got Keenan Allen. Like I guess he's still got a little left in the tank too. I mean, is he wide receiver one? Who knows? Who else does he have? Drake London, bum. Not a fan of. Complete bum. Saquon's going to do Saquon until he gets injured, because just so for the fact that he's on Will's team. Zay Flowers, actually, I think we should put out an Amber Alert after last week, because I don't know what the hell happened there. Dropping only 2 points.
That's something that I brought up to Will. I mean, Zay Flowers went a little bit late-ish in the draft. I think it was 6th or 7th round, but Will was excited to pick him there. And I relayed to Will, I was like, dude, like, he is like the definition of boomer bust. And it's not like because of his ability, it's because of the team he's on. Like, when you have Lamar Jackson, and I mean, I think of this being redundant. I think I mentioned this already on the Hock Pacua podcast in like episode 1 or 2. But if you're on a team with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, like, I mean, it's kind of like a crapshoot of like, is Zay Flowers gonna do a lot? Will he get these deep balls, or is he kind of a decoy, or is he gonna get like these like pass interference calls when he's going deep, and then Lamar or Derrick Henry rushes it in, um, or even what's his name, Mark Andrews has a week with like a touchdown or two. I mean, Zay Flowers, like, I don't know, his team, his offense is so good where there's too many guys, too many moving parts for him to be reliable every week. And yeah, I mean, with Tyreek Hill on my team, he's been okay enough to start every week, but I like that he's playing the Jets because you're down on your New Orleans Saints for good reason, and I'm down on my New York Jets. So I always like when guys play the Jets, especially defenses in the past like 10 years, which is just sad to say. But I'm confident in this one. I know the first 2 weeks I thought I picked the other teams to beat me, and I won both times. Last week I picked myself to beat Robbie, and it was my first loss. So I'm scared to do it, but I'm confident that I could take over Will. But now I know that I just said that I'm probably going to lose now. So, so
Yeah,
we'll see.
I'm gonna give you this slight edge here. I actually marked this down as match of the week because although Will's players are really good, like Baker's a baller, everyone on his team from top to bottom is solid. It's just his matchups aren't the greatest. Although he could squeak out a pretty decent number with Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah. No, I love Will's team. He's one of the teams I kind of circle in to make the playoffs, just based on his roster, and he does have a deep bench. Like, I mean, Dalton Kincaid's been balling out. His starting lineup is looking good, but I mean, Marvin Harrison, everyone's still waiting on his breakout. Who knows if that'll happen? He has Brian Robinson, which you hope to God nothing happens to CMC. Tony
Well, if he does,
Pollard
I'll
is
be
the
making a
lead
trade
guy.
for him.
What was that?
I said if something happens, then Brian Robinson will be shortly on my roster.
That's true. That's true. Have you been talking to him at all about it yet, or no?
I've let him know that hopefully I don't need to have this conversation down the road, but if need be, we're definitely going to pick up the phone and talk some BRJ trade.
Yeah. Have you sent anything to him yet, or has it just stopped there?
It just stopped there because the more I talk about it, the more I don't want to speak it into existence.
That's true. Yeah. And then he's got Kittle on his IR. I mean, Will wanted to be done with tight end drama and having Mark Andrews last year, and then he drafted Kittle. He was like, "Screw it." Kittle's been a top 3 tight end for like 5 years. I feel like, even with being injured almost every year, besides last. But I mean, that was just tough for him to lose Kittle. So
Yeah, it seems as if Will's the tight end Grim Reaper.
yeah. Yeah, that's how you know which tight end to bet against, if possible, is whoever Will has. Whoever he has as his top guy, because Kincaid was balling out. So yeah, we just went through the matchups, and something that we like to do now at the end of the episodes, towards the end of the episodes, is Mayo Watch, and that is like 1 or 2 teams or however many you feel that are on your Mayo Watch. The most likely, as of now, it's still super early in the season. This is episode 4, week 4 of the Pistol Pedias Fantasy Football season. But who's a team or teams that you have on your Mayo Watch radar?
So the obvious one, we're gonna leave Aiden alone for right now. We don't want to kick a dog while he's down, but right now, like I said earlier, another matchup of the week is going to be Alex versus Robbie. I mean, the loser of that's going to go 1-2. So whoever comes out of that with an L is definitely going to be one of the Mayo Bowl contenders. And honestly, I'm going to be a little honest. If I don't squeak out a win here either, I'm going to be staring down 1-3 as well. But I believe most of the potential 1-3 candidates are in my division. So hopefully down the road we can sneak out some divisional wins, and then I think there was one more one. Oh, and then you have Ann at 1-2 as well. So it's going to be tough for him if making this big trade and going 1-3. It's just going to be a bigger hole to climb out of. But if you can go 2-2 and just wait for CD to come back, that's going to be the difference of him going, coming closer to the Mail Bowl and him making the playoffs. But from what I've heard from this league, it sounds like Ant has the 7th seed locked in pretty locked in.
He's got a whole. He's known by the 7-8 seed fans. People who love the 7-8 seed matchup know Ant so well. They love seeing him there every year. he always avoids the Mayo Bowl, which is just crazy, and he always avoids making the playoffs as well.
And who knows? Maybe this CD trade, he's about to be mail bound, and next thing you know, CD drops 50 points against someone.
Yeah, no, that's. I think he's preparing to. I think he's done with being like the butt end of the joke, being the New York Jets of the league, always missing the playoffs. I think Ant's coming for everyone's head, coming for everyone's neck, trying to make the playoffs this year. I feel it, but I know you said we should probably lay off on Aiden a bit. He's obviously one of the teams I have on Mail Watch, just because I think it'll have to be a miracle for him to win this week. I mean, starting out 0-4, it's not an impossible hole to crawl out of. I think Nick did it one year where he started like 0 and something, and he made it all the way up to like near playoffs, but he wasn't in the Mayo Bowl, I think, which was just crazy. But so Aiden, I mean, he's not a totally lost cause. His team is brand new. After this week, who knows what'll happen? I mean, we both think he'll be 0-4, but for his sake and for everyone else's sake who wants to catch up to Chris, hopefully he's not. But I have a surprising other team for the Mayo Watch, which is one that you did not mention, which I don't think a lot of people would mention. It's Nick with Deuce ran a chain on Buddy. And I know he's 2-1.
Wow.
I know he's 2-1, but it's still very early. And his team's on my Mail Watch. I mean, he likes to talk a lot of crap on Alex, on Ann, on other teams in the group chat and stuff, but I think we should have a little look at his team here. I mean, Daniel Jones was a great pickup. That's fine. Who knows if he'll keep the magic going? Who knows if he's this year's Sam Darnold? Devon Achane. I mean, we hate predicting injuries. We hate when injuries happen, but this man is so small. How long can he be, like, is he actually Kamara, like I said before, where Kamara is so durable? I don't remember him, like, ever getting hurt in his career, like owning him so many times in fantasy. I know he's been suspended for things, but I don't remember a time when he was hurt. But Devon Achane, he had some injury history, and he's just so small. I hope he doesn't get injured, but I could totally see it. Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet. I mean, there's a reason why Nick has been shopping these guys for like 2 weeks now, or since the beginning of the season. I don't even know. But I would hate to own these guys, not like with Charbonnet taking work from Kenneth Walker. I mean, it's just crazy to have two running backs where on the same team where both are injury prone. Like, there could be a time when both are injured at the same time, which is just nuts. Chris Olave, he's fine because New Orleans is not great, and he's getting so many targets a game. I know you gave a look there, but
I know Nick is very high on Chris Olave, but I am most certainly not, both fantasy-wise and Saints fan-wise. I just think he's a fucking bum.
Really? Is it like from
he's
watching how he plays and stuff?
I mean, he's just got to stay healthy, and he never is. Like, he's pretty much Tua. He gets concussions every other week, and he's just not healthy. So that's why I'm not high on him. And he's got Brock Bowers, which I don't know when he drafted him. I'm presuming he drafted him somewhere either third or fourth, maybe even fifth round. But I don't know what's going on with him lately.
Oh,
he had a bad week last week.
Oh, wait, Kevin, I got a little choppy there. Go back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, go back to where you just mentioned Brock Bowers. I couldn't hear you after
Yeah,
that.
I don't know what's going on with Brock Bowers. He had a bad week last week, but I don't know. It's not looking promising.
Yeah, I mean Brock Bowers, it's not looking like a great pick there. I mean, when you go tight end that early, you want him. I mean, you kind of need him to be like a top 3 tight end. Where Chris picked, what's his name, Trey McBride, and Trey McBride's been great for him. But Brock Bowers being tight end 8 at this point in the season, that's just not what you want when you draft a tight end that high. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, I mean, I think he's going to be up and down how he was last year. Whatever Dan Campbell chooses them to do for the Lions each week, that's what's going to happen. And then J.K. Dobbins is another guy who never stays healthy. I mean, and he's also got the risk of R.J. Harvey coming in taking his role if he gets injury prone or if R.J. Harvey starts producing, he's at risk. And then when you look at his bench, I mean, Travis Etienne, he just acquired from Ant. I don't believe in Etienne down the stretch. That guy Bashal Tutin, that rookie he looks very good. Josh Downs looks like a non-factor in Indianapolis's offense. I mean, Michael Pittman's the guy there. Jonathan Taylor's the guy there. Downs is really getting no work. DK Metcalf, he's a total up and down guy to have. I know it may sound like I'm completely trashing your team, Nick, but I don't know. I'm just being a little realistic. I didn't go hard at your team last week, but just looking at the state now, I know you won last week, but I think you would have beat like 2 other teams. I know it sounds like I'm coming after him here, but I'm just trying to be honest.
If I somehow pull a win out of here, you might just have to hop on the trade train.
Yeah,
Who knows? Maybe he might find himself with like I don't know, maybe an AJ Brown.
yeah. That was something that Nick and I discussed last week on the podcast was, if AJ Brown has another tough week, I could see Nick or me like sending you a trade for him.
Oh, trust me, there's been a bunch of AJ Brown merchants in this league so far. A lot of them.
Yeah.
So
I would have been one if he was disappointing this week again, but after this week of giving you hope, owning guys in the past that have done that to me, where they had a really bad, really slow start to the season and then just popped off, it's a little harder to trade them, and it makes trading them a little more difficult. So that's why I laid off trying to get him from you. But I'll make this public. I've been trying to get Debo from you, kind of when I knew I was getting Jaden Daniels. But I know he's been great. I mean, he's been great to have. Just seeing what he's producing. I mean, you got him super late in the draft too. Everyone thought, he's super injury prone. There was that whole thing with he gained a lot of weight. He was heavy at training camp, but it seems not to matter. Yeah, he seems to be like the guy to own in Washington, even over Terry McLaurin.
Who knows? He might still be on the trade block after week 4. So we'll see. We'll just have to wait and see.
We'll see.
I mean, listen, I also got offers for CMC and Cook, so in terms of my team, there's really no one's really off limits on my team. So send your best offers, everyone.
You said no one's off limits?
No one's off limits.
Yeah. So, before we head off, is there anything you'd like to say to Nick since you're playing him? Any trash talk, or after that's your matchup after him? Anyone in the league that you wanna start some discussion about, talk some smack or whatnot?
No, I'm not really trash talking Nick. I'm just hoping that Amon-Ra blows his knee out. That would be ideal. Alex's team can still go fuck themselves. Had him on the ropes last week, around like 2:30, 3 o'clock. Probably it was at an 85% win percentage, and then just did a complete 180. So yeah, Alex's team can go fuck themselves.
You're like, that's it. That's it.
That's it. That's the trash talk.
Kept it short and sweet, to the point.
Short
I
and
like
sweet.
that. Yeah. So how's it been so
Very
far?
short and sweet.
How's it been so far um, being the newest member of the Pistol Pedias? I mean, everyone appreciated how you took it when you got the invitation to be our 10th league member. I mean, you were the unanimous choice to replace our fallen soldier. So how has it been so far? 3 weeks in.
I'm not gonna lie, this league's very busy with its trades. I haven't been in a league like this where trades just happen this fast in week 3. Usually the leagues I'm in, the trade line comes up. You're thinking, what do I need? What should I get? People are 1-2. People are 2-1. They're making moves like crazy. And I mean, I haven't made that many moves, but it looks like I'm gonna have to start picking it up if I want to, stay out of the mail bowl. Let alone just make the fucking playoffs. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean, this is a trade happy league. We have a lot of guys like myself, like Nick, like Aiden, like many others who always make trades throughout the season. I would say it is a tiny bit unusual, I feel like, for all of these trades to happen week 3, like after week 3. But maybe I'm just forgetting how this is every year. Maybe this is what defines our league, how aggressive we get when what we like isn't what we have on our team is not what we're expecting or what we like or what we hope for. So
Yeah,
I like
for
that.
Wikipedia first timer, very, very aggressive. Very aggressive.
I mean, there's a lot at stake here. I mean, a lot of times it's scarier to come in last than it is amazing to come in first.
Yeah, I believe I'm the oldest one in the league, so a tricycle around Manhattan would be pretty poor on the knees. So we're gonna try and avoid that at all costs.
Yeah, definitely. That one. Heck no. All right, man. Well, that pretty much wraps up Hock Pacua Podcast episode 4. Thank you so much for being the guest here, and I wish you the best of luck this week.
Alrighty, same to you, my friend.
All right.
Living a joke on a bitch. Living a joke on a bitch. Living a joke on a bitch. Living a what? Yeah. I go on David and joke on a bitch. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna none. Let me do a stitch. Yeah. Like impossible bitch. Like what's the sitch? I'm living like million little bitch. I'm getting rich.